Hello folks, welcome back to the Urban Rider Studio, where today I have some gloves with me from the company KNOX. These are the KNOX Coniston waterproof motorcycle gloves. At the time of making this video, they come in just shy of £160 and they're available in the black colorway you can see here. KNOX describe these as a 3-season waterproof glove, so they're aiming that at the majority of our riding season in the UK realistically. For them, they've put that as spring, autumn and rainy days in the summer for the use case on these gloves. I'd put a small addition on that and say that if we actually ever get a summer in the UK, these wouldn't be my pick. So on the hottest of days, or actually for the majority of summer, I probably still wouldn't go for these. They're a little bit thicker than I would personally like to use, but I think that does extend their season actually more into winter than it does into summer, because for winter in the UK, again, generally it's fairly mild. Mostly what you're dealing with is wet weather throughout the whole year. So waterproofing is key. These have a comfortable amount of insulation in them. They're not as thick as some options from KNOX. So like I say, they have a really wide span of usability, but on those hot days and on the really cold days, they wouldn't be my pick. The rest of the year, they're going to be a very comfortable pair of gloves. Now, if you do want some fully winter-focused motorcycle gloves from KNOX, I would point out the KNOX 04 as an alternative option. They're a little bit more expensive than these, coming in just shy of £180, and at the moment they're on pre-order, so we haven't actually got our stock, but then it's not actually winter yet, so keep an eye on those if you want some more insulated, warmer gloves with a lot of the same functionality that you'll expect to find with these. The biggest differences with the 04 and where the extra money goes is in the knuckle armor. It's slightly beefier than you'll find with these. They also use Primaloft Gold insulation, so like I say, much better insulated for winter riding. And they use a goat skin leather construction as opposed to the cowhide leather you'll find on these, so slightly more premium in that sense. So, looking around the glove, we have an extra large on the table. I will start with sizing actually on this occasion and say that the large that's on this hand here is slightly small on my hand. Now, if you double check their size guide, that is accurate to what they describe them as, but double check before you order. Often I will find that I can fit into a large on most gloves. Sometimes we'll stretch that to an extra large. On this occasion, the extra large is the one that I would need, mainly because of the length of the fingers, I think, in actual fact, because when I put on the large, it fits for the majority of my hand for the width of my palm, but I can feel that the fingers are a little bit short, so it doesn't fit quite where I want it to on my hand in size large. Like I say, I've got a size 9 hand, and I am wearing the extra large in the studio. There's a decent amount of thickness and padding to these gloves overall. I'm going to say that if you prefer a thinner glove and more feel at the bars, they're not going to be the best choice for you. They use a 100% cowhide construction to the outer, and they have an E-Vent Air permeable 100% waterproof membrane on the inside. On the palm, you'll notice a few extra details, such as the Amara silicone palm to make them extra grippy. Around there, you have something to use a touchscreen on your index finger, your middle finger, and your thumb with the KNOX logo on there. Something of a standard across their range is the scaphoid protection system, which is this plastic section to your palm and stops your palm from gripping the tarmac if you were to come off, and therefore hyperextending your wrist, or at least that's what can happen if your palm does grip. So you want that to be able to slide away from you, and that helps in that regard. There is a Velcro strap around your wrist to tighten them in around the base of your palm there, the heel of your palm. And on the back side, this is where you'll get the majority of your adjustments, and it's got a relatively long gauntlet on it, so you can stick that over the top of your sleeve. But you have their BOA system, which is highly addictive to use, but really nice to interact with. And it just enables the gloves to have a more secure and adjustable fit every time you put them on. On the left hand, you'll also notice you have a visor wiper at your thumb, which can be useful, and you have these TPR sections on your knuckles for extra reinforcement. And for knuckle armor, it's slightly more subtle than you'll find on some of their glove options. You have their micro lock armor and reinforcement to your knuckles, but there's nothing on there to call it out or highlight it. You can just see, obviously, when you flex your hand there. It's a new, softer version of that as well, which is ideally what you want on the back of your knuckles, so it's not restrictive. All in all, another great option from KNOX when it comes to gloves. They have stuff that range from the super technical to the still quite technical but more subtle looking. And I think this falls more under that category, actually. I'll drop links in the description if you want to check them out for yourself, as are links for the rest of their range to be found down there as well. Drop a comment in the comment section if you have any, and I'll see you soon.